Hello guys, I come back to talk about the part 2 about how to strengthen our immunity naturally and what ways we can use the different herbs and essential oils and just different foods and things we can use to help strengthen our immunity naturally so we can become strong and we don't have to worry about viruses of any kind or bad bacterias or any of these things. And so now I'm going to talk about things that we can do to strengthen our immunity naturally. And there's so much information out there going around that's so hard for people to understand. And I've been having lots of people really confused with what's going on. And they don't really know what to understand and what to believe because we're hearing so many different things. Like, for example, a lot of people are talking about that you need more vitamins, nutrients, and minerals, like more vitamin C and more zinc, more things like that. And yes, you do need more of those things. But first, if your body is dirty and has lots of trash and lots of buildup, you first need to help clean that up and to help detox some of that out and make sure you get the buildup out of your bowels and your lymphatic system and out of your small intestines, because that's where you absorb most of your vitamins, minerals, and nutrients anyways, is in your small intestines. So we first need to clean up some of this waste and this trash, and then we can absorb the vitamins and nutrients better that we then eat and consume, And the biggest thing that I want you to understand when it comes to supplying yourself with a good source of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients is get it always from your food, from a natural source. Don't buy these isolated supplements out there in the world, like isolated vitamin C that's called absorbic acid, and the isolated zinc and all of that. Get it from your plants and your fruits and vegetables and your herbs. That's what I meant by plants, did you know, for example, that zinc is a hard one to get a lot of times for a lot of people because we don't use enough herbs to help build up our bodies. We rely too much on just the fruits and vegetables and the plants that we are common in eating. And we only think of using herbs is for medicinal purposes or for building purposes. We don't really think about using them for nutrition and for vitamins and minerals, And for example, did you know, again, that zinc is only found in like 5 or 6 milligrams in most of your fruits and vegetables per serving? Well, did you know Hoshu Wu or Fu Tea has 45 milligrams per serving? It's one of the highest sources of zinc found of any plants on this planet that I know of, And so I'm just giving you an example that we have to look to the botanical and plant kingdom sometimes when we're not getting enough of our nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. Like, for example, again, moringa or alfalfa. That's what you want to go to if you need more vitamin C, more magnesium, more calcium, more of the vitamins, minerals, and trace minerals. Go to your moringa. I really love moringa. Moringa is an excellent source of that. So if you need more vitamin C and more zinc and those kind of things, use the superfoods, the greens. That's one of your best sources. And then you will still get some from the fruits and vegetables too. But the greens and the herbs are the best source of that. So I just wanted to touch on that before I start talking about the essential oils and the herbs that help to boost our immunity as well. And if you really look at it, speaking of our food again, did you know that a lot of your culinary spices are very good for our immunity and are very good to fight off viruses? They're naturally antiviral, like I'll explain to you. Did you know oregano? Oregano is very powerful, and it's one of the top herbs. Oregano in the powder form or the capsule form or the oil, oregano oil. It's very good for our immunity and very good for viruses. And it's a spice. There's a certain type of oregano that's really good, though. It's from the Mediterranean. It's from around the Mediterranean area, around Italy, I think it is. It's a really good type of oregano that's good from around there. That's one of them. Then also basil and thyme. And let's see, what else was it? Oh, cinnamon. Cinnamon's really good. Cinnamon's a great antiviral, and you can use cinnamon oil. You can mix a little cinnamon with honey, and put it in some juice. You could put it in juice, but you can take cinnamon and honey and put it on some of your fruit and eat it that way too. There's many different ways that we can use these things. But yeah, it's cinnamon, clove, basil, oregano, thyme, And I can't remember if there's any more. Oh yeah, lemon balm. Lemon balm is another great antiviral herb that you can use, or it's also called Melissa. Also tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is wonderful. It's another good one that we can use, and that's why Manuka honey is really good for, and it's an naturally antibacterial and antiseptic, you know. So that's another good one that you can do too, you know, is the tea tree oil. And then let's see what else. And I have my laptop computer here, and I'm going to check my my list I have, and then that way I'll be reminded. So bear with me while I turn it on. I hope you guys are finding this video beneficial, and I hope it's informative so far. I'm trying to keep my my flow going good, so I can keep your interest and help this video to be really thorough and packed with good information for you, to help empower you for you and your families to be able to not have any fear over this situation. Because I feel like I have so many of my clients that tell me, they say, Thad, one of the things that I'm just concerned about is that I just feel lost sometimes. I don't know what to think about. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to feel confident about. What I'm doing is right or wrong. I don't know if I'm going in the right direction. I don't know if I'm going too fast or too slow. I don't know what herbs I should use at the right time. And that's why I'm telling you guys, there's so much misinformation out there. You're hearing some people say not to use elderberry, because elderberry is really good herb for antiviral. And you're hearing some people say not to use it. And you're hearing some people say not to use, what's the other one? I'm trying to think of it. They also, echinacea. Echinacea is another wonderful herb for our immune system. But see, here's what I want you to remember, is that just because some people say we shouldn't use those things, that doesn't mean that that applies to everyone. Everyone's genetics are different, our lifestyles are different, you know, where we live is different, you know, so that's why I really say that you have to look at all of those factors individually, and then that way you can come up with the right herbs that can help you. And that's why I also recommend you guys to experiment with many of these different ones I'm listing today, to find which ones work and help you the best, you know, because that's very important. I really feel that's the right way to go about it, you know. But yes, like I mentioned, oregano is good. Sage is another aromatic herb that's been used traditionally. Yeah, and that was another one of those spices that I was going to tell you that we use culinary, but it's also very good for our immunity, is sage. And it's also good because it fights off different viruses. It can even fight against the HIV and AIDS, you know, and help keep us strong from that, from being infected. Yeah, basil, many different types of basil, especially holy basil. Holy basil is an amazing plant, and there's a reason why they call it holy in India, is because it helps with so many different things, and being antiviral is just one of those things, you know. But it says it's exhibited potent effects against herpes viruses, hepatitis B, and an enterovirus. And it says, they did a study, and they said that it showed that it increased the T cells. That's the part of our natural killer cells that helps our immunity to stay strong, you know. And then fennel is really good, and fennel is really good for our bodily fluids. It helps to purify our bodily fluids, you know, so that's a good one. But you can use the essential oil, or you can use the herb itself. But it said it's good against herpes viruses and parainfluenza type 3, which causes respiratory infections in cattle. And so see, any of these natural immune boosting herbs, they help with our respiratory system also. And see, that's why we need to use these respiratory herbs too, like mullein and pleurisy root and let's see, what's the other one? Fenugreek. All three of those are really good to help our lungs to detox and help our lungs to stay strong during this time of when we can have sickness and have lots of mucus. They also help to expectorate a lot of the mucus, you know, out of our lungs, you know. And then garlic has always been known to help boost our immune system. You can use it culinary. I would use it raw over cooked. But if you want to, you know, enjoy it a little bit better, or get the benefits from it a little bit better and not have the odor, is use it in a medicinal form, like the capsuled form or the essential oil or the tincture form. That would be better than even eating it raw, you know, because in that way you wouldn't smell like it too bad. But garlic is really good, you know, for that too. And it says it helps with influenza A and B, HIV, HSV1, viral pneumonia, and rhinovirus. and it helps with the common cold, which the rhinovirus is one of the causes of the common cold. And so see, that's what I'm trying to show you guys, that I feel confident in saying that if people were living the right lifestyle that we could be living as humans on this planet, eating the right kind of foods, avoiding our exposure to chemicals, and using these herbs and these essential oils in the right way on a regular basis, it would help our immune system to naturally stay strong enough that we wouldn't have to walk around here in fear. We wouldn't have to worry about covering up our nose and our sinuses. We wouldn't have to worry about always washing our hands and being afraid of what we touch and all that when we go out in public. And I mean, it is important to use natural essential oils in that way. You can rub essential oils on your hand. You can put essential oils underneath your nose. You can mix essential oils with a salve and put that salve underneath your nose. That way we don't breathe it in, and any of the oils we put on our hand will sterilize those germs and those viruses and those bacteria. And that doesn't hurt our good bacteria of our body. And it's not a chemical. It's not going to hurt our immune system or any of that kind of stuff or pollute our bodies. So see, that's why I'm telling you that all you have to do is knowledge yourself up with this knowledge that can help you and your family to not be live in fear and be scared of what to do during these crazy turbulent times we're living in the world. So let me keep going with this list, and and I'll keep giving more information. All right, lemon balm, lemon balm or Melissa, that's another good one. You can use the essential oil, or you can use it in a tea form or a tincture form again. A lot of people like the tea form because it's good, but it helps with influenza, bird flu, herpes, HIV, enterovirus, and it helps, and it can cause severe infection. Those things can cause severe infection in adults and children, and so it's good for children to use too. A lot of these things are. We just have to use it in the right dosage and the right amounts, And then peppermint, all of your peppermints are always that way. They're really good for so many different things. They're antiviral, they're antiseptic, they're antibacterial, but they have natural, powerful antiviral qualities and commonly added to teas, extracts, and tinctures to treat viral infections. Its leaves and essential oil contains active compounds, including menthol and rosmarinic acid, which have antiviral and anti-inflammatory activity. And that's why peppermint oil helps a lot with pain, and inflammation, And then it says rosemary. Rosemary, that's another one of those culinary spices that I forgot to mention earlier too, about that are really good for us. So see, it goes back, oregano, thyme, rosemary, basil, peppermint, sage, all of these wonderful botanical herbs that we use culinary, but we don't think of using them medicinally a lot of times. And that's what's so ironic, is that some of these herbs give off some of the most aroma because they have such powerful compounds in their oils. And when we take like rosemary and we even brush up against the herb growing, because we have it growing out front, if you even brush up against it, you smell the oils coming out of the leaves, But rosemary has displayed a great antibacterial activity against herpes virus, HIV, influenza, and also hepatitis in animals. And it helps with herpes and hepatitis A, which affects the liver. And then echinacea. Echinacea is really good for the immune system. And it's probably one of your most common herbs to help with the immunity, with natural immunity, And then elderberries or sambucus syrup. Sambucus is the Latin word for elderberry. But elderberries are wonderful. It helps with sore throats, common cold. It helps with viruses. It helps with flu and common cold. They make them into the syrups. They make it into a syrup, or you can do the teas, or you can grind the berries up and put them in your juices or smoothies. And licorice. Licorice has wonderful properties of antiviral, but it also helps our adrenals and helps our stress. So see, that's another reason why we need the licorice, not only just for our blood pressure and for stress, but we need it for the natural antiviral, antibacterial properties it has. And it says that it's effective against HIV, RSV, herpes, and some acute respiratory syndrome related coronavirus. So see right there, it tells you that licorice helps with the coronavirus. And that's what it said right here in this article. And this article was made before the coronavirus really came out, just recently. So see, it just shows you that the coronavirus is nothing new. It's been out for a while. It's just they're using this now to just kind of be the next virus to scare us all, And it said which causes serious type of pneumonia. So see, anything you can help your lungs and your body's ability to take in more oxygen and all of that, you won't have any problems with this pneumonia problems, or symptoms. And then astragalus. Astragalus is a wonderful adaptogen herb that helps fight viruses. It helps with hepatitis C and avian influenza H9 virus. But yeah, it helps with a lot because it's an adaptogen herb, and it's really good for our immune system, and it's really good for stress and anxiety too, in our adrenal glands. And then ginger. Ginger is wonderful. Ginger helps break up mucus. It has natural antiviral properties. It says it's even been shown to have impressive antiviral activity thanks to its high concentration of potent plant compounds. And it says it fights against influenza, RSV, and feline calicovirus, and human neurovirus. So it has wonderful properties. And all of your ginsengs, ginseng is wonderful to help with, like red panax ginseng, Siberian ginseng, or it's called erythro root. That's very good for us to use for that, so that's wonderful. Dandelion. Dandelion's great because not only is it antiviral, but it helps our liver a lot, So it said it may help combat hepatitis B, HIV, and influenza. And it said they did studies and shown that it inhibited the replication of dengue, a mosquito-borne virus that causes dengue fever. So see again that these herbs help our immunity to these things we're exposed to. That's why it's very important for us to use these type of herbs. Okay guys, now let's talk about the different type of essential oils that you can use. I was just mentioning a lot of the different ones that you can use because a lot of these different herbs that I've already mentioned, you can also use the essential oil form of it too. Because the reason why the essential oils are so important is, let me tell you a quick story that some of you may not know about. Is that, remember the old story of the thieves' oil? The thieves' oil, the reason why it's called thieves' oil, and the thieves' oil is a blend of it's clove, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. Remember, the reason why it's called thieves' oil is because there was spice merchants back in the 1400s during the bubonic plague that they were robbing the dead of their goods. And they got caught by the kings and queens, and they said, well, we won't punish you if you will tell us how you were able to keep yourself from getting the bubonic plague. Well, because they were spice merchants, they had used those spices and the oils, and they'd rubbed it all over their body. They even talked about that they could smell them as they were walking around, real strong in spices. Well, those spices naturally kept them immune from these things, because they're strong antibacterial and antiviral and antiseptic properties naturally. Like also frankincense and myrrh. It's naturally antiseptic, antiviral, anti-tumor, anti-cancerous. A lot of these wonderful, wonderful herbs that they've been using since biblical times are how they kept their self from having bad problems with bacteria and viruses. So all we have to do is look at nature and look at what these old people used before there was all these chemicals and sterilizing agents that they have out today, So that's why those are some of the things that I want you guys to remember, is go back to using the thieves' oil. You can use the thieves' oil on your countertops. Just don't let it get on wood. It can hurt, stain the wood. Use it that way. You can rub it on your hands. You can, just if you need to, though, use the thieves' oil blend in a carrier oil if you have sensitive skin. Because some people that have sensitive skin, they can't put the essential oils on their hands full strength. But for those of you that don't have sensitive skin, it's okay to use them full strength. Just don't use a few drops at a time. Like make up a blend of the thieves' oil and just use a few drops at a time. But I want to mention some more of these different essential oils that you can remember that are really good. I mentioned about the cinnamon. Cinnamon, it says cinnamon oil is extremely potent and can irritate the skin. So see, that's another one that you have to be cautious with, and you might want to dilute it down with a carrier oil. And that's what I recommend for you to do with a lot of these essential oils when you're going to put them on your skin. Remember, another good thing you can do with these essential oils is you can take a pot of boiling water and let it cool down some, and as the steam is coming off, you can put the essential oils in there and then breathe the steam. And did you know heat is very effective in killing the coronavirus? It loves to hang out in our respiratory areas because it's cool, it's moist. and the moisture is not as big of an issue as it's cool. Well, that's why it's very susceptible to heat. And so breathing in that warm, hot steam, and it has the essential oils in there too, that's going to help to really get rid of the virus and not make you where you have a problem in your respiratory system. So that's a wonderful thing you can do. They call it herbal inhalant, or steam inhalation, with herbs, with the herbal steam inhalation. That's what they call it. And I have a wonderful PDF in my Facebook group that talks about how to do it and how to use the essential oils in a steam inhalation way. My name of my Facebook group is Journey to Wellville, just like the name of my YouTube channel here. So cinnamon is really good, and you can also combine it with eucalyptus and rosemary, like the thieves' oil blend. Melissa, we already talked about that. It's also called lemon balm. And it said that it has been shown in studies to stop the avian flu virus ability to replicate, which is necessary for the disease to spread and survive. So see, a lot of these essential oils and herbs, again, they're helping to keep these things from spreading, and so that's another very important thing. Oregano, we talked about oregano. It's really good. It helps. It's a potent antiviral activity against a variety of viruses. And it says star anise is another good one. Thyme, is another good one. And you can use it with tea tree and eucalyptus. And it's been shown to reduce viral infection by more than 96%. See, we have thyme growing out in our yard year round, and we use it for many different ways. But we love to use it culinary way. But it's really good for many different uses, And peppermint is a really good one to use. Peppermint oil has demonstrated high potency in lab tests against the herpes virus, even against strands that did not respond to the drug alocavin in the study. Ginger, we talked about ginger before. And then manuka, or lemon balm again, or that's really good one Manuka is from tea tree. I'm sorry, I was getting them mixed up there a minute. But Manuka honey is from tea tree too, and that's where they get the honey from in New Zealand. It's from the bees that collect the pollen from the tea tree plant. But so those are your main essential oils that are really beneficial. So those are the essential oils that I wanted to talk to you about, and the herbs. And the last thing that I wanted to mention that you can do that can naturally help your immunity, that could be a last resort, that could be like a backup in case things get really bad, is that I want you to remember to use colloidal silver. Colloidal silver is a wonderful sterilizing agent that won't hurt our good bacteria levels. And I have this on hand just for emergency reasons, because I know this is not something we normally talk about in the Dr. Morse communities, because he talks about most of the time we don't need these things if we get our bodies healthy and clean enough. And that's why I talked to you first about the herbs and about the essential oils before I talked to you about colloidal silver. But colloidal silver has been shown effective to kill viruses. They use it quite successfully in Africa for the Ebola virus. So remember that, and this is my favorite brand, Silver Wings, and it's because this type of silver has not been electrocuted. It's been just pulverized down to very, very fine particle size, and it's been mixed in with a colloidal solution of water. See, most of your silver, it's called electrolysis silver, or that's electrolysis derived colloidal silver. And what they do is they take 2 silver rods and they put them down in water, and they hook electrical wires to them, or diodes, the electrical wires, and it shocks the silver, and it makes the silver come off the post and come down into the water. Well, that's a type of silver that's not as good for us because it's been electrocuted, it's been shocked, or it's been heated. So that alters the silver and makes it not as good for your body, So that's why I recommend using a source of silver like this that's not that way. And I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. This is just the best brand that we found over the years of me being a part of my parents' health food store and our family's business. So if you live in the United States, look for that brand called Silver. Let me tap on the screen so you can see it. There it goes. Silver Wings. That's a really, really good brand that you can look for. And they make several different particles size. That's ppm means particles per million. And in this type of silver that's not electrolysis silver, you can take the higher dosages and it's not harmful to the body. But if you take the kind that's been electrolysis sized, you don't want to take those larger particle size. you want to keep it around 10 particle per million or 30 particle per million at the most. This kind of silver, you want to take the higher kind because it's stronger, it's more effective. Like this 250 and the 500, the 500 is the one you want to be taking right now if you're having these conditions in these situations. So to end this great talk with you guys in this part 2, and my conclusion on today talking about this, is that let's talk about for a minute, well, you may say, Thad, what would I do if I already have the coronavirus, I already have the flu, and I can't do anything to prevent myself from it, or one of my loved ones have it? What do I do? Well, first thing you do is don't panic. Don't panic and don't get feared that you're going to die or anything like that, because most people don't. Most people just go through the common cold symptoms and they just end up getting well later, you know, by just doing things to help themselves to get over it. It's only those that have massively compromised systems that have to really live in fear that they're going to, you know, have serious conditions and they're going to have to go to the doctor. Well, let's say that you do have it and it's really challenging for you to get over more than just the common cold or common flu. Well, I just tell you to first just get lots of rest. You know, try to eat as much fruits and vegetables as you can. Use these herbs and these essential oils, and try to get out in nature some if you can, to just get out of the home's environment and get more fresh air and try to breathe better. Just breathe better. But the main thing you can do is just reduce your stress and your anxiety. And just remember, guys, just keep studying and learning, and just try to get away sometimes from these areas of people that are just really perpetuating more fear and anxiety and stress, and just try to be filled with love and kindness and joy and all of those things, and to really help you to, you know, to fight off these fear-based things that we're experiencing in this world. But I hope this video has really been informative and filled with lots of great information. I will be making probably more of these in the future as we are learning different things and there's more of this subject to talk about. But I've enjoyed talking with you today, guys, and I hope that you'll give this video a thumbs up and maybe share it with people that you know of. And I really enjoyed talking with you today about this topic. And I hope everyone's journey to Wellville is balanced spiritually, mentally, and physically. And I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. And take care, guys. Until next time, talk to you later. Bye-bye.